Hello everybody. Today we have got a parcel from ABU Games. ABU Games became probably my favorite card dealer in the last couple of years after the website has been redesigned, and what I really like about them is that they focus on collectors. They are very strict about grading. They provide copies of scanned cards, not necessarily for the most expensive cards and graded ones. But they really pay a lot of attention to different, let's say, misprints. They carry some signed cards, some cards altered by the original artists. They do also carry some non-English cards, and I really like the system that they have got. So today, my friends, we have got a very important video because I am officially stopping collecting high-end cards that I needed for my 100% of old school Magic cards. This leaves me with 14 cards that I still don't have, but these cards I'm not going to get anytime soon. Definitely not this year, and maybe no ever. I'm talking about some big hitters which I don't really need for my decks. Top cards like Bazaar of Baghdad and Mishra's Workshop. So I definitely am not going to get these cards because, you know, very often I say to myself that these cards are just investments. I'm just borrowing them for some time, but it will be very difficult to sell these cards, and you know, it's not something that I'm going to be able to do, I'm afraid, and I just cannot justify this. But you know, enough of this rant. Let's take some time to appreciate this very nice, I don't know what you would call this, shoe for cards. Actually, I really like it a lot. This is the first time I'm seeing this, and you know, that's very nice. It's not closed from all the sides, but wow, nice slab, cool. So yeah, as I said, okay, is it a gift for me? Is it a gift for me? Wow, I'm speechless. I don't know why it is here. I never ever wanted to get this card. I have to look at my receipt. This might have been sent to me by mistake. Very interesting. We'll talk about it later. Okay, so this is the card that I need. This is the card that I really wanted. This is the card that I was looking for. And the most amazing thing about this card is that it is the fourth, so to say, horseman, the fourth black horseman of Legends. Remember that you have also got Nether Void. I've got this. The Abyss also got this recently, and what else? Chains of Mephistopheles. All right. So yeah, these cards have different degrees of playability. This copy is actually very nice. Don't remember whether I got it as a near mint copy. That is possible. Maybe the corners aren't perfect, but yeah, still that's very good. Yes, you remember the effect. The Oracle text says that you have to kind of suspended exile with some counters. I think that the counters are scream counters, which is really cool. It is a nice card for a reanimator deck, but the problem that it has a delay of a couple of turns, so yeah. Anyway, the art is really nice. This is Christopher Rush, one of our main artists of old school Magic, no doubt about that. So a really cool card. Yeah, let's look at some minor cards, but still they're quite important to my collection. Martyrs. I have seen discussion of these cards. I have seen this card being discussed in different ways. Some people are talking about brewing a deck. For instance, Bottle of Suleiman. These would prevent the damage. You may also have circle of protection from artifacts. You can use copper tablet. An idea that I would like to use is Dingo's Egg Armageddon with these, or maybe some extra cards. So might be a good idea. So these are martyrs. Next we've got Natural Order. I'm sorry, Selection. Natural Order is a green card, but a different one. And this is the card that I wanted to talk to you. I know that this card is difficult to get. It is not easy to find. It is an absolutely useless card. You can just rearrange these cards or shuffle the entire library. Why would you do that? You might do this in combination with Sylvan Library because you want to have more shuffle effects, but come on, are you really going to do that? It is also true that you can mess up your opponent's deck. I'm thinking about the Field of Dreams deck, but still it's just one slot in your deck that is pretty much redundant. But I suppose that some people really like the card because of this anthropomorphic eagle slash tiger, slash human. But yeah, he's anthropomorphic, so he's a human, alright. And yeah, I just wanted to get this card. I just wanted to get a playset. Now I finally have it. Let me see if both are CEs or we've got an international collection. Nope, it's not international collectors. And it's very interesting, the price discrepancy between collector's edition, the usual one, and international collector's edition. We're going to talk about it in the future. Look, it's such a nice and clean copy. Yeah, of course, there's a minor whitening on one of the corners, but other than that, it's such a neat copy. Very often I don't care about conditions, but it's nice to hold a card in your hands that was released in 1993, and it's in such a good condition. It's just glossy from a set that was opened not so long ago, as I would guess. Next is Shield Wall. Why? Okay. This is one of those cards that I thought I don't have, but I actually do. So, you know what? It's actually interesting because for the longest time, maybe you have seen me getting some extra copies. I was saying, oh, I'm getting extra copies, I'm getting extra copies. And as a result of me not being careful, I have got 3 playsets of Urg Raiders. The most valuable is the original Raven Knights, of course. I also had the white bordered reprint, and I also had the black bordered German reprint. And sometimes I forgot how many cards I had, and this is a kind of a punishment for me being lazy. Now I have got a whole box of these cards just sitting there doing nothing. And it's a very good idea to maybe keep all of your receipts together. But yeah, maybe if you got some cards from outside of shops and such, yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that. But what I did, and actually you will see this in one of the videos next month, is that I just decided to audit my whole collection, and I just displayed all 88, I don't remember the exact number, something like that, old school cards. And I just started asking myself, okay, let's go through the binders. Have we got each and every of these cards? And turns out that I didn't. I did have some of the cards that I thought I didn't get. Of course, I'm talking about some janky, obscure cards. And on the other hand, I was missing some of the cards. For instance, I was missing Camel for a long time, believe it or not. I was missing Metamorphosis from Arabian Nights, a green card, quite ugly art and definitely useless effect. I was also missing Quagmire. And it's amazing that I have looked through the websites, maybe hundreds of times. I'm not exaggerating. When I was looking for some old school cards, when I was just checking the prices, you look over these cards hundreds of times, much more often than through a collection, unfortunately. Then you say to yourself, okay, I've got this, it's a boring card. And you assume that you have it, but you don't. So yeah, then as a result, I just did some auditing, and I still have 2 parcels waiting, and I'm going to get them probably in February, I hope. And then I will be done with my collection expansion, so to say, videos. Right, so Illusionary Mask. This is a very interesting card. You know, I wanted to get more because there are some very interesting board states that it creates. And let's remember, you might have watched one of my old videos, by the way, where I was talking about the difference between how these cards used to be played and how they're played now, that Illusionary Mask nowadays don't have the same effects. What it does is that it allows you to hide a creature, and of course, yeah, the same things about paying mana costs still apply, but you can make it a 2/2 creature, a morph, basically, in modern terms. And that's very interesting because you can use it, you know, 2/2 is not nothing in old school Magic. And what you can do technically is that you can cast it and maybe, I don't know, use 0/0 guys for 2/2. But I don't know. When it is tapped, you must turn it face up. I'm not even sure it's going to work though. Okay, scratch that. Anyway, this is a card I wanted to have, and I'm happy I do have it. Leech. Oh, Leech. It is a wonderful card. It is an incredibly obscure card. It has a cult following, as I know. I know that there is a secret society of Leech old school players. And I'm not joking, there are some people who appreciate this card so much that they know how difficult it is to build a deck around it, but they still go for it. And of course the most obvious thing is to use Mirror Universe and then Leech, and you know, then do some other shenanigans and such. So yeah, that's very interesting. I already have a copy. Actually, for a Leech deck I suppose that one copy is usually enough, but I just wanted to get one extra. Next we have got Raging River. Again, I'm talking about expanding the number of cards that I have got. And I had 2 of these. I mean, I now have 2 of these. And by the way, do you know what happens if you have 2 Raging Rivers? Something really amazing happens. Again, let's remember that this was printed in the original Alpha edition. So this was before they introduced the Enchant World, which would be really, really good and flavorful for this card in Legends Enchant World. So it is not an Enchant World, and 2 of these can exist. So what happens is that you will have a Raging River with 2 banks, and on each of these banks you will have 1 more river, and you will force your opponent to divide it into more than 2 piles, so that this will be, you know, absolutely amazing. Not sure I will be able to cast that. It definitely feels wrong in terms of flavor. That's absolutely terrible, but it's just an interesting card. And again, I wanted to use it. Why not? You know, it's maybe a bit worse than Goblin War Drums, but a nice card. Okay, speaking of nice cards, Jade Statue. Oh, I don't like the corner, but other than that, it's alright. Jade Statue. I feel this might be an underrated card in some ways, because we have 4 mana, that's not nothing, but again, that's very nice power and toughness combination. And this effect is really interesting because it makes your creature not affected by, let's say, auras. It makes your creature invulnerable to Wrath of God and some other things. So essentially this is like Mishra in some way. So for the duration of the current attack exchange, it means until the end of combat, not even until the end of turn, which is important. So yeah, that is an okay card, I guess. Or again, what you can do is you can use board wipe, and you have got these. So yeah, that's an okay card, definitely a good one. Okay, I've got some more mountains. A video is coming on that. A video is coming on my collection of mountains. They are all mountains with this art. I don't remember what art it is, A, B or C, and you know, people sometimes have different ideas of how they should name them, but I call it the Arabian Nights mountain. It's as simple as that. I don't have the Arabian Nights mountain itself, unfortunately. And one more thing that I like is Summer Magic. I do have the Anthologies reprints of the Arabian Nights mountain, And another cool thing I've got is, you know, alpha, beta. So you will see, we'll compare them, talk about colors, talk about how to distinguish these if you don't know how to do that, and in general we'll have some talk about these. And again, I decided to get the mountains, first of all because there is this very interesting Arabian Nights mountain that exists, and also because I do play quite a lot of mono red. So yeah, here side by side, again this is the topic for the future video, we have got International Edition and Collector's Edition, and we'll talk about how the two of them compare. They're not 100% identical, so that's really interesting. Yeah, okay, so they're not identical. And I believe we have some more lands. Oh, they're not just lands, we also have got more Evil Eye of Ormsby-Gore. Really good card, again 3/6, just like the Jade Statue and also the Moss Monster. And Nova Pentacle, a card I hadn't really heard of, and only then understood how cool it is. So Nova Pentacle, 3 and tap, redirect, all damage from one creature to a creature of the opponent's choice. And you understand that you should do this if your opponent has some creatures and you don't, or you have a really big creature, but yeah, then this wouldn't make sense anyway. But if your opponent doesn't have any creatures, it means that they must redirect the damage to their own creature, and you know, this can create some very interesting situations. So I had to make sure that I have more than one copy. Now I do. Tackle Maggot, but I believe I already had one. This one is a black bordered version though, probably a bit better. Part Waters, again a card that I actually have, but got because I wasn't careful, and this one is the only old school Magic card that has Planeswalk. However, you do have Great Wall to counter specifically that card. How cool is that? Also in white, by the way. So yes, I'm going to investigate our good friend Lord of Atlantis. I suppose it's not a cheap card to get, and I might have left it there by mistake, but if it's a gift, I'd really appreciate it. Look at the gemstones on his gloves. Wow, that is so cool. Very nice. Unfortunately, I can't play foils in old school Magic, so this card is absolutely useless to me. What a shame. But thank you anyway for watching. Bye.